What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here and being subbed. If you're not, hit the button, and if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this holy mess. What is going on, guys? So listen, since Diddy trial has wrapped up, it seems like TD Jakes has been speaking a whole lot more with people outside of the church, because in his church, there's been a few things that have gone on with Sarah Jakes Roberts and his son-in-law Torrey, and him handing over the reins of the Potter's House Ministries to them. And I haven't gotten into that like I had planned to, but I still plan on circling back to get into that topic. It's just a whole lot of stuff going on in all of this mess with them, with Diddy, all of the other topics that are going on, and just life is lifing as it always does. So I got to put my time where I need to put it when I can. So I'm going to be circling back to that. I haven't forgotten. But recently, there was a clip of TD Jakes and Oprah Winfrey talking about, what do I look like as old as I am, being at a freak off and this and that and the other. And, the audience was laughing, and, and Oprah was joking about it too, and whatever. And listen, I never said that he was at a freak off, but like I've said multiple times over and over again, the swallowed up clip, it will go down in history for me. I will always laugh at it every time I hear somebody play that clip, especially on Official King Jive's YouTube channel. When he plays that clip, I always laugh out loud. But I digress. It is what it is. He hasn't really talked a whole lot about it outside of that. And even when the rumor mill started swirling, and that, Diddy, the lawsuit, Cassie came out and all of this stuff, like right before Christmas, and then he had his church service, and a whole lot of people were tuning in because they wanted to see what he was going to say. And then he pretty much alluded to the fact that there's nothing to see here. I'm not going to talk about it, but if that's what you came here for, then I'm going to give you a show. And he gave people a show, and he didn't really talk about it. So it just kind of, for some people, gave the appearance of some guilt. But here recently, he's been talking a little bit more. And so I want to show you guys this clip, because I don't know who this is that he was talking to, but they were talking about how these bots were sent to attack him with all of these fake stories and fake videos, and, and this and that and the other. So we're going to get into what he was talking about.
People try to get clickbait, playing around, trying to get clicks so they can get paid, so they can become relevant. And what he's saying and what I'm saying is, knock that off. There's no time for all that stuff. And it's interesting how black people often, increasingly, are attacking black people. I said it, right? You got a whole bunch of black celebrities, about 10 of them, that have been attacked by other black celebrities. We got enough problems.
And might I jump in and say this? When that first broke out, it was 44,000 bots that were released on me. And for people who read, Swoops, who does the investigation for NBC and other news outlets, discovered that 98% of them were all artificial intelligence generated.
All right, I'm going to pause this for a minute, because I'm going to keep giving myself a little bit of credit and a pat on the back, because I'm not here to try to trash anybody or just make up lies about them. I do A&R, I analyze, and I react what's out there, and not to every single thing. First of all, who has the time to do, reactions to every single thing, or to give their opinions about every single thing that is put out there? But two, I did a video, I want to say it was around October or November of last year, where I talked about that. I said specifically, YouTube is allowing all of this AI generated content in these videos, specifically about TD Jakes. And I went through a number of the videos. Now, I didn't go through playing the videos, but I showed a lot of the thumbnails, and it was clearly fake. It was clearly AI generated, and they were all getting tons of views, and they were still up. So I want to say that I kind of gave him the boost and the push to go after, because I didn't hear anything about him going after AI generated content until I made that video. I'm just being honest. And I'm not saying nobody else talked about it, but I didn't see anybody else talking about it. And it's kind of ironic too, because not only did I do a video talking about all of these AI generated videos about TD Jakes and Diddy. I mean, there were thumbnails showing him in the bed with Diddy and with their shirts off. And clearly that was not TD Jakes' chest, because it was all like muscular and whatever. And I'm not even trying to be shady with that. But I'm just saying you could clearly tell that it was fake. It was made up, showing him like running away, hopping on a jet in a jumpsuit or whatever. It's just like, I talked about that prior to these things coming out here recently, but I also did a video that they struck, where I was discussing how he was requesting his church to sow a seed on New Year's Eve of $2,025 for the new year for health, prosperity, and whatever else. That was not AI, and that was crooked, in my personal opinion. I did not feel that that was right. And when I talked about that, it got struck, but they didn't strike the video that I was talking about all this fake AI generated video content being created about TD Jakes and how people were just making a lot of money off of these fake videos. So this guy, and like I said, I don't know who this is, but he was talking about, black people just attacking black people. I am not here to attack anybody. If these people are public figures, if they're celebrities, if they're whatever, and the things that are happening in the public eye are happening, and I have an opinion about it and I want to discuss it, that's why I made my platform, so that I can talk about it. And if I want to talk about it, I will. So I don't care if you're black, white, red, whatever. I'm not just here to just talk about black people. But also, there should be some accountability too for these celebrities, because it's like, if you all are just living upright lives and doing the right thing, nobody would be sitting here talking about you. Let's be clear. The news does not talk about subjects that are all positive and good. And I'm not saying that there would be anything wrong if they did that. But the reason why they talk about a lot of things that are terrible, tragic, and negative, and whatever, is because it's happening, and they're letting people be aware. So it's not realistic to say that people should just talk about the good and the positive aspects and lives of these people, because there are enough fans of these people, even of TD Jakes, where they fan these people out, and they have even created fan pages for fan followings and all that stuff, just to showcase all of the good and the pretty and the positive and the uplifting for those people who want that. It's just the way it is.
The other thing that it really proved to me, to Oprah, to Denzel, to all the people, it's everybody. I mean,
everybody.
You can name anybody. It goes along with the turf.
I haven't seen a whole lot of negative things about Denzel Washington. Have you? I mean, I heard him say Denzel Washington's name, but Denzel's probably like, keep my name out of your mouth. Like, keep my name out of your circle of drama and mess, because all I did was get baptized. And if people want to see that as a negative thing, then so be it. But I haven't heard anything about Denzel Washington being at any Diddy parties or freak offs. Have you? Maybe I missed that.
Is that we have got to stop getting our information on TikTok.
Right.
That's a good place to start.
Right. By the way, there is an FBI website. You can just go there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of water under the bridge. If there were anything there, the FBI would have been in it. Everybody would have been in it.
I just wanted to say it.
There's no hiding it. It's like when I had my health scare. Within seconds, it was all over the world.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to find it on Instagram. You wouldn't have to find it on YouTube. You would find it in the 6 o'clock news. You would find it everywhere. Much to my surprise, actually, when I had my health scare, how
Well,
far it went, how
because the
wide,
world,
how many.
that was the world reminding you what was really important.
Yes.
That actually you're appreciated and loved by people that really matter. By the way, interesting when we had that conversation, when you had the conversation with Oprah, I make the point because if they're going to attack Oprah, they'll attack. I mean, the frequency is so low. If you're going to go after Oprah, you go after anybody. So number one, and two, she didn't.
Who's Oprah, God? I mean, to say that like that, if you're going to go after Oprah, you're going to go after anybody. Oprah is not God or Jesus Christ or any like deified figure. She's a human being just like the rest of us. And if there's stuff out there about her or people have speculations about her, they're going to talk about it. She's not above reproach. Like, what the hell is that supposed to mean?
She wasn't aware that you'd been attacked because she don't watch low frequency stuff.
No.
Like she was completely stunned that you had any experience with that because she don't mess around with that stuff. She's at a higher frequency. So
which really goes to our point.
Yeah.
If you ingest poison, don't be shocked when you die.
Hello.
It takes all I can do at my age to try to stay current with what's going on, because AI is moving so fast that it is very difficult to tell misinformation, disinformation from real information. You have to be quite shrewd and sometimes professional to be able to do that. And yet we have to keep up with not only being able to detect the true from the false, but also to keep up with the quick and sudden changes that AI is making, that is changing the frontier of employment, that's causing a lot of people to lose their jobs and causing a lot of prepared people to find their jobs and to move into realms where we can really get something done. I don't want to waste time talking about that.
Hold on, Bishop. Yeah, hold on. I'm probably one of the few people who's gonna let do this for him because he doesn't want to be defended at all. But I need to make something. That wasn't my point. Here's my point. Ambassador Andrew Young was attacked by the U.S. Senate, who accused him of crazy things. He was attacked by people. He had to resign as a UN ambassador. No one remembers that. Dr. King was attacked by his so-called friends. I mean, he died chain smoking, overweight, and depressed. He thought he'd failed. Malcolm X was attacked. Like, whoever you admire in the world history, if they're doing something, they've been attacked. By the way, I've been attacked. All right. So my point was, he just got his stripes for you.
Hey, this is Chad Van.
Okay, I don't even know who that guy is, to be honest with you, but what he is saying is not necessarily untrue about great people from the past being attacked. And I don't like to equate people to Jesus, because sometimes you hear some of the the lowest level of creatures that will say, well, they crucified Jesus. So like, don't put yourself on the same level as Jesus Christ. I can't stand when I hear people do that, but people do. But it is true that great people of, the past and of history definitely have been abused, attacked, lied on, all the different things, right? But what I will say is the AI generated content about TD Jakes, blame those few content creators that did that, because they were doing that stuff to make money. It's not like the world was against TD Jakes and was saying he was at the freak offs. But because he has been labeled as Sean Combs, Diddy, Puff Daddy's mentor, and to hear the type of life that Diddy was living, it did give people pause for concern and, threw up some red flags, and they had some questions and things like that. I don't believe the majority of the people who were thinking things were just automatically saying or placing TD Jakes at a freak off, but people have seen him at the party. They've seen him in pictures with Sean Combs. And so, yeah, a lot of people have questions. Like this person said, that wasn't AI when he was on stage with that medium shirt on dancing, or when he was at Diddy party with his head on your shoulder. And somebody else said, was there not a pic of him at a party, or am I tripping? It was at a party, but it wasn't a freak off. There's a difference. and only Diddy, Cassie, the Jane Doe, and the paid sex workers, allegedly were at the freak offs because the assistant said, "Yeah, we were there before to set up, and afterwards to clean up." So TD Jakes wasn't at that stuff. I'm not even sitting here saying that. Somebody else said, "Sir, just stop lying." Somebody else said, "Smells like BS." Why did he wait until after the trial to speak on it? There wasn't no bot to put Oprah on Epstein's plane. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. It's like now that the trial is over, now that that's done, and we're just waiting on the sentencing to happen. Now he's speaking up more about it. And it was like, were you under some type of gag order, or were you possibly going to be called as a witness, or did you want to keep your alliance secure with him? Because I do believe that he was financially benefiting from Sean Combs. 100%, absolutely. I would never take that back. That is my personal belief. I'm not saying that I have proof, but I do believe that that relationship, it was one where it kind of relieved Diddy to do a lot of the things that he was doing, to say, well, I pay my tithes to the Potter's House Ministry. TD Jakes is my mentor. Sometimes when I'm having freak offs, I will play some of the preaching of TD Jakes, have it in the background. And when we're finished and we're wiping off bodily fluids off of each other's bodies and, resting up before the next freak off, then we're watching one of TD Jakes' sermons. I'm sorry, guys. But listen, if you followed the trial and you not heard, but you read the transcripts, or you heard some people who were breaking down the notes of Jane Doe's testimony, she said that they would watch TD Jakes on TV, either sometimes while doing the freak offs or right after. So that's weird. And I'm not saying TD Jakes has anything to do with that, but I do believe that he was being financially benefited, and his ministry, by having that connection and that alliance to Sean Combs. So now that the trial is over, sentencing hasn't happened yet, but now it's like he almost feels a bit freer to speak on it. And that's where my question lies. True, albeit it's not cool to create AI content that's not true to make it seem like it is, but you got to speak to the true matters as well. Don't just talk about the AI bots that were sent after you, or don't get your information from TikTok people, influencers, creators, whatever, because the real is out of my mouth and with some what he would see as legitimate real news sources. He is a man of a certain age, so honestly, I don't even feel like he has respect for platforms like TikTok, but I digress. I really want to know what you guys think about this, because I saw him talking about this in this clip, and I said, mighty funny how he's still talking about the AI bots that were sent after him. And I did a video several months ago, and I didn't hear him say anything about it then. So I do feel like I kind of helped him maybe put a little battery in the back. Not saying he watched it personally, of course, I'm not saying that. But just like somebody on his team or in his ministry struck my video that I actually won, and I got that reversed, and it has been posted. And you can go and, watch that video if you have not yet, because that definitely was real. That wasn't AI. I believe the same way as how they saw my video where I was talking about all those AI videos that have been created about TD Jakes. I didn't even watch any of the videos because I knew it was BS. Most people could look at the thumbnails to see that it was fake, but some people, because they like to be entertained, they will watch it. And that's why those videos racked up a lot of views. Period. So I want to know what you guys think. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments about TD Jakes finally starting to step up and speak to these freak offs that he says he never attended, especially now that after the trial ended. And also, guys, what do you think about him still having a connection to Sean Combs? Do you feel like he still does, and he's being financially, benefited personally and business wise by having that connection? Because we know a lot of the chicks, there's not Cassie, but she already got her money, but the Jane Doe and allegedly Gina, who did not come to testify, who I believe was going to be the number 3 witness, is still being financially, benefited by Sean Combs, still being taken care of by him. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.